Morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
We'll wait a few more seconds and let some folks join in. You know, it's a topic that people all across the world are talking about this morning. Fatherhood, talking about the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter. So we're going to talk about that a little bit this morning. And talk about it, because everybody, if you're not a, it has nothing to do with whether or not a person is a basketball fan or not, because what took place yesterday is way bigger than basketball, way bigger than basketball. So we're gonna talk about that, because this really should be a wake up call to everybody. Where you watching from this morning? And this is my brother Jay.
Hello, good morning.
Which y'all have seen on here before. So we'll get started this morning, because the whole world is mourning as of, what time did that happen yesterday? 12 o'clock?
Yeah, about noon, I guess. No, so yes, about noon, I guess.
By noon. The whole world has been mourning, and since yesterday, and I'm sure it's going to continue on through the day and tomorrow, through the week, due to what happened. So, Kobe Bryant, as you all know by now, passed away in a helicopter accident yesterday, him and his daughter, and I think about 7 others. I think it was 9 people total.
Yeah.
I think it was 9 people total. They didn't survive the helicopter crash, you know, and I'm not really a basketball, I kind of watch it. I'm not really a basketball fan, but I am a Kobe Bryant fan, because he was a father of 4, he was a husband, and he spent a lot of time with his children, and that part of him there means the world to me. And I cried like a baby yesterday, because I knew about it when my Aunt B texted me yesterday, because I was texting her about something else, and she texted me back and said Kobe Bryant had died, and I was like, what? And then when I saw everything, and it just kind of went from there. Jay, what were you doing yesterday about this time when that happened?
Actually, I think I was just getting out of service about that time, and the same person that called you texted me as well. So yeah, I was getting out of service. We had stayed in church a little later. We was fellowshipping yesterday at my mom's birthday. She turned 67 yesterday, which was a blessing to be able to celebrate 67 years.
Right.
Of course, not the whole 67, but you understand what I'm saying. 67 years. So yeah, we was just getting out of service, man, and got the and AB texted me as well and told me about it. And I'm with you, man. It's bigger than basketball. Not only is he a human being, he was a father, and I think that just as a father or a parent, it hits a little different when you think about the circumstances.
Right. And you know, and yesterday, you know, I was crying when I got the news, because you know, you see the pictures of him and his daughters, and Jay, you and I both have daughters as well, and a son as well, and you know, actually, yeah, same thing, 2 daughters and 2 2 daughters and 2 sons and a son, and I immediately went and found my oldest daughter, which watches basketball all the time. She plays basketball, and I hugged her, and I cried and told her that I loved her, because we don't know when our number is going to get called.
That's true.
We don't know. There's a few things we don't know. We don't know when our last day is going to be here, and we don't know how we're going to go. We don't know how it's going to happen. We all wish that we could be like, who's that? Well, that Joseph blessed his kids around the bed and knew it was about time for him to go. Some of us going to leave here in a number of ways. Could be an accident, could be a drunk driver, could be an accidental shooting, could be choking, could be suffocating. We don't know how we're going to leave here.
Right.
But what's important is that we make do and do right with the time we got now. Because everybody, I'm adding everybody watching this video right now, of everybody that's going to watch the replay, if you left home this morning, you have the expectation that you're going to return.
Right.
Everybody. If I leave home, I got a feeling I'm going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you know it's going to be a day I ain't going to make it back?
Right.
Somebody else is going to be packing my stuff. So I was talking, Jay and I were talking this morning about about a wake-up call and prioritizing our time that we have now with our wives, with our children. I believe a man has to make his family a priority, and a lady has to make their time with their family and their children a priority. Because Jay, we don't know when it's going to go.
Right.
We have no idea. You were saying that Jamal Bryant said you was preaching a sermon about time with his daddy.
Yeah, it was, and I'll quote it. I'll paraphrase a little. But if you ever get a chance, I think you probably can Google it. It was a story that he told about a son that went into the room and asked his dad for $50. So when he asked his dad for $50, the dad kind of got upset because he couldn't believe his son was asking him for money. And he takes care of him. He stays with him. He feeds him. He buys him clothes. But he came in and asked him for money. So the dad thought about it after the son went to the room. And the dad goes into the room and the dad says, "Hey son, here's the $50 that you asked for." So when the son grabs the $50, he jumps out of his bed, he goes under his mattress, and he pulls out more money. So the dad now is upset because he's saying, "Son, I can't believe that you asked me for money and you had money." And he kind of fussed at him a little bit. So the son looks at the dad and he said, "Well, listen, I did have money, but I didn't have enough." He says, "I know on your job they pay you $100 an hour and I only have 50. So now I have $100 and I have enough time to pay for, I have enough money to pay for an hour of your time." And when the son told the father that, the father broke down and started to cry. So the moral of that story is that, are we really spending enough time with our kids? We spend a lot of time at work. We spend a lot of times in our what we call our side hustle. We spend a lot of time trying to build a future for our family, but are we really spending enough time with our kids? Because if you think about it, we get up in the morning. Most of us get up early. I get up around 5:30. Our kids are still asleep. We wake our kids up probably about 6. We spend a good 30 minutes with them before they go off to school.
Right.
They go off to school, they stay at school about 8 hours a day. If they have after school programs, they stay after school at least an hour. Then we go pick them up. We might stop through a drive-through if we're busy. We come home, we spend a little time with them, maybe with homework, or we spend a little time with them, let them have a little downtime before bed, and then they're off to bed and they're going to school the next day. Are we really spending enough time with them? Right. Yeah, we're making a future for them. We're sending them to the best school. We got them in the best after-school programs. But is that going to be enough for them?
You're right, Jay, because they spend that little time with us every day. They'll spend more time away from us if they're school age than they will with us.
Right.
Because it's like that with our kids now. They got after school basketball, DJs running track. Now Linda come home, and then you ever notice in our society, everybody ready for the weekend to go do this and go do this. But with me, I include my family because the weekend can't just be for me.
Right.
Because that's the majority of the time that I get to spend with my family that they're not at school. So I have to make it family oriented for me. Right. Because you're right. We have to spend more time with our kids. I was reading a book and a man was saying that we really only get about 20 years with our kids. Because at that point they're growing up, they're going on to have, live their own lives, and they're no longer in your household on a daily basis like they are now while they're young. And so I don't want to, I know for me, man, and that's why I spend so much time and involve them in everything I do, because I don't want that regret of not had spent enough time with them as they've grown up. I just don't want that to happen to me. I just no, that's not going to happen because I believe when a man prioritizes his time and he makes his family a focus, then he will be driving down that avenue of spending time because he is what's important to him. Right. Because where his heart is, that's where his treasure gonna be too.
That's true.
Right there with his family and with his children. And so, man, I cried. I hugged my kids. I hugged them and told them I loved them because we just don't know. We just don't know when our last time is gonna be.
Right. And like you said, we all have plans for the future. And of course, you have to plan for the future. I mean, you have to have a plan because we hope to live a very long life. I often joke all the time and say I'm going to live to be 100, but I can't plan my life around living to be 100. But what we can plan is the near future. And what we should do is spend in a sense, we need to spend each and every moment as if it's our last moment. We got to spend that moment as if we know when the day is. That way, you have. That's why they say you need to live with no regrets. Not saying that you're not going to do something outside. You're not going to. What word am I looking for? Not saying that you're not going to make mistakes, but you need to live life and you need to embrace the people that you love. Because think about it, the meaningless arguments that we have with our loved ones, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just, just imagine leaving home one day, arguing with your spouse or your sibling or your loved one, or having a disagreement with a child, and you don't come home or they don't come home.
Can you imagine
that?
You wishing you living with regret because you wishing, or it could be something small.
Yeah.
I heard a commentator yesterday from Sports Center. He was talking, and of course everybody was emotional. And he said, "Look, if you got a problem, you know, something small with your kids, I'm gonna quote him exactly what he said. He said, let that shit go." That's exactly what he said. Y'all, I'm sorry for cussing. And the producer said, that's all right. He said, let it go.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Let it go.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You will only have memories, you will only have pictures and videos, but they are gone.
Right.
And you're gonna tell yourself, what we were mad or angry about, it don't even make a hill of bean difference.
It doesn't.
None whatsoever. You know. And I tell you, we were also talking about you know, spending time with our kids, but sometimes we get busy with our careers.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something about you work from 18 to 65. You looking for, you said it earlier.
So it was a quote. I do more reading than I do talking. I mean, as you can see, Derek Love's been in front of the camera, and I've been spending a lot of time with him lately. So I mean, he's cool me in front of the camera. So. But it was what I read was the fact that, and when I read this, it kind of opened my eyes to something, that from 18 to 65, we're waiting on Friday. What I mean by that is from 18 to 60. 18 is usually when you start to work and start your career, or just start to work, period, until you figure out what it is that you want to do. So from 18 to 65, you're going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Boom, there's Friday. Like you said, there's the weekend. I'm off for 2 days, and then you're back at it again. From 18 to 65, only thing we're living for is Friday. The only thing we're trying to do is make money. The only thing we're trying to do is buy this, buy that. And then from 65 to death, well, usually that's
75.
what, 75,
Lifespan.
70, 75. And then you living for 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done with the other time of your life? Have you really spent time with your family, or you're just planning for retirement? We don't take the time to live. We don't take the time to embrace our loved ones. We don't take the time to really. Do we really need all the stuff that we think we need?
You know, or we don't take enough time. We believe 20 or 30 minutes here is enough,
Right.
and it's really not.
It's really not.
You know, because it takes time to recognize when, especially when your children, when you spend enough time with them, you can tell when something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel well. Something's on their mind. But the only way you can really tell that is by spending a lot of time with them, so you can see the mood changes.
Right.
And you can understand when, you know, if for instance, the DJ come home, right, and he ain't loud or talking or making noise, I know something ain't right. Because that's his normal MO.
Yeah.
He come home, he just loud as I am. He come home, you know he him. It
Right.
ain't no mistaking. But if he come home, you see what I'm saying? Then I know something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
If Linda comes home off the bus and she don't run and jump and hug me when she get off the bus and she walks slow, I know something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But because you spend time with them, so you can recognize when something's not right, right?
Yeah.
And so and we just have to slow down and live a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to slow down before we come to a complete stop. We got to slow down and make our families a priority. Make our children a priority, because we don't know when that last day is going to be.
Right.
You know, so right now the whole world is just mourning right now, praying for Kobe Bryant's family, his wife and his 3 daughters, and all of his rest of his family and friends right now. That can y'all imagine they getting ready for a funeral that they never thought. Not now. At 41 years old. Now we understand that we all gonna leave here.
Right.
That is, it's appointed once unto a man to die, and then the judgment.
Right.
We all gonna leave here at some point. In probably 100 years, none of us watching this video will be here. We'll all be gone, and it's two generations that ain't, another generation that ain't here yet will be here.
Right.
You know, but it's just so sad when life is gone seemingly so young. But we have to take advantage of each day. Let folks know we love them. We gotta forgive people, love people. Don't sweat the small stuff, and work through any issues and things that might come about. Because at the end of the day, man, when a person is gone, you can't say I'm sorry no more. They say you take people flowers while they living.
Right.
Don't wait till they dead and you ain't seen them, ain't try to talk to them. Love on folks now. But we do hope that this time is a wake-up call, though, especially for fathers. And really for everybody, but especially for fathers, because Kobe Bryant was really a real dad, day after day, spending time with his kids, taking them to the game, spending time with them. And I tell you, it's just still almost like it ain't real.
Right.
Although it is, it just seems like it just ain't really sunk in yet. But I would encourage everybody to watch this video. Hug your kids, text them. I don't care even if they grown. They can be 25, 26 years old. Text your children. Text them and just tell them that you love them and how much you appreciate them. And if y'all got any kind of beef or anything, please, it just really, you get work through it and just forgive and spend time. So.
Because you have to understand, like you said, once family is gone, they're gone.
Boy, they gone.
It's some things in this world that you can get back. But once family is gone, it's gone. And you have to think about it. Can you imagine being in this world with absolutely no family? I mean, that's hard.
Man, that's tough, man.
Love your family. Hug them. Listen, I advise you, like you said, pull your phone out. I know it's somewhere close. It's got to be out because you're watching this video. After this video, I challenge you to pick up the phone, to call or text or email one of your loved ones that you hadn't talked to in a while. If you think about whatever it is that you all are disagreeing about, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We're wasting valuable time being mad at people, saying I'm moving on with life. I don't need them. I don't want them. They damn it. They hurt me. I'm better off without them. That's your family. That's your loved one. Listen, today I'll be passing out hugs to total strangers.
Man,
I'll be telling people. I'll be talking to people. I mean, I do it anyway, but it's time for us to just spread more love. There's enough hate. It's going to be too late to look down over a casket to tell your loved one, I'm sorry. They can't hear you.
They ain't in there.
They're not there.
They ain't in there. It's over.
Yeah. Then you got to live with the fact that you had a chance to make it right and you didn't. We listen, for the ones of us that hadn't left the house or have left the house, we have plans to go back home this evening. But there is a chance that we won't make it back.
Let me tell you something. We live here in Dallas in the Metroplex. It's car wrecks every day.
Every day.
Every day, the obituary column is full. Yep. Every day. Do you know all them people thought?
Yeah.
They would go home from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They've been praying for them.
Mm-hmm.
People go to school. Kids go to school, thinking they're gonna go back home.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody else is gonna be packing up their stuff.
Yeah.
That's a reality of life.
That is.
And so we don't have time, y'all. I'm just telling you, just love folks. You ain't got to agree with everything they do, but you can love them. You got some kids that you might not agree, that may not be for long in life as you thought they were going to be, and they may be spinning their wheels and wasting time. That's okay. Tell them that you love them. Let the love of God be transcended through your text message or through your voice or through your phone call or through your Facebook message or email. Let the love of God plant the seed, and let the love of God let the word of God do what it's been sent out to do. Right. It will not return void.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video, and I mean that straight up. Thank y'all for liking our posts and following our family, because I told my daughters yesterday, my mission is to spend time with my family. Between work, if I don't do nothing else, because I really include my family in everything I do. Whether the project, that's just who I am and who I'm how I'm made up. Because I'm going to spend time with my family, with my wife and my children, because I don't want to leave here with my work undone, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't want to leave here with my work undone, and I don't want to leave here with the impression that family was not valuable to me, because it is so. And I get me and Jay gonna call our mama in a minute and tell her we love her. We done already talked to her this morning, but we gonna call her back, call our other brothers, because that's just truly important. And I believe love is gonna overcome, it's gonna conquer, and I believe we can really be an inspiration to each other when we decide, hey, you're important to me, and I love you.
And I'm gonna leave you with this and piece of information. Well, first of all, let's say, I know I keep talking about work and spending time. I do understand, and I know you all understand as well, that I'm not saying don't go to work, because we all have to work.
Well, yeah, we gotta have income, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is that it's some time that you can set aside for family. You know, it's family time, dinner time. I don't know, we're in a hurry, man. And all of us got dining room tables that we don't hardly use because we're so fast that we're eating at the counter, and take the time to sit down and have dinner. Take the time to sit down and just talk. Set days aside. Set some time aside that there's no phones. I mean, like you have movie night, I think. So that's great. You know, whatever it is that you and your family love to do, because that's something that they'll remember. And my Aunt Ruby gave me some good advice about, my daughter is 20, Mariah is 20, and I had to have been about 17 years ago. She said that it's a difference between you sending her to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal versus you taking her. She said if you send her, that means nothing. But if you take her, she'll never forget it. And what that means is that and to this day, my daughter remembers the time that I've taken her to get a Happy Meal versus the time that I sent her. So at the end of the day, she's going to have that memory of her and her dad going. So let's make memories with our kids. It's not all about money. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. The kids don't remember the money. They could care less about the money. They would much rather have you around. So I just think that it's very, very important that we spend time with our kids, we spend time with our spouses, we spend time with our loved ones. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have the memories that they're going to cherish. Mm-hmm. The money will go away. No matter how much gonna go. The money's going to go away. The money can't bring back a person.
I bet your money ain't important to the Bryant family.
It's not important today.
Kobe Bryant is worth over $500 million. It's not about the money.
It's about the memories.
It's about the memories. I bet you they would throw that money away and burn it to have her husband and her daughter back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? That's why money, yeah, you need money to pay bills, but money ain't all. I'd rather be broke and have love and have my family than be rich.
Rich and loved.
I live in a hut.
Right.
With my family and be happy and have peace than have $1 million living in a mansion and have no peace and be at war.
Right.
And dealing with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather, because this is not about the money, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got a chance, I'll tell you I love you, man.
All right, man. Love you too, Doc. Appreciate it, man. Love you too. All right, folks. Thank y'all for watching. Share this video, and just hopefully it's an encouragement to somebody. And just continue to love folks, forgive, and spend time with your children. If they're not in your household, text them, send them an email, send them a letter, and let them know how much you appreciate them, because, you know, any day things could come to a halt. And so you don't want to be left with your work undone.
That's
all right,
true.
Folks.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
See y'all later.